Andrew Wiggins has really turned his career around since getting traded from the Wolves to the Warriors. Last season, he not only made his first All-Star team, but he went off in the finals, helping the Dubs to secure the 2022 championship. But it looks like Wiggins is still hungry because he has the goals of making both the All-Star team and All-Defensive team next year. So can he reach those expectations? Let's talk about it. But before we continue, I need you to hit that subscribe button. If you like watching insightful and informative content on the Warriors, this is the place to be. So drop a like on the video and subscribe. Last week, Wiggins was a guest on the Vince Carter show, and he stated that he had a few goals for next season. He stated that he not only wanted to help the Dubs be back-to-back champions, but he also wanted to be an All-Star and be All-Defensive team.
I'm trying to keep it going. You know, I'd love to be an All-Star again. And obviously, a championship is the main goal. But one thing I'm really going to strive for, you know, this upcoming season is being on the defensive team. That's a big goal of mine, and hopefully I open some eyes in the playoffs.
Hopefully,
I can be on the radar.
Hopefully,
because I didn't get not one vote this year. So I was like, you know, I took it personal in the playoffs. So I was like, this is my chance to really, like, you know, showcase what I can do and, you know, put my name on the radar so people can, you know.
Andrew Wiggins definitely has plenty of reasons to have a huge chip on his shoulder. He didn't get respect from many fans as an All-Star starter, although not getting a single vote for the All-Defensive team. Despite Wiggins getting snubbed from the All-Defensive team last year, there's no question he was one of the top two-way players in the league. Wiggins was the Warriors' primary wing defender last season, and the Warriors were number 2 in defensive rating. But despite his incredible production on the less glamorous end for the Dubs, somehow the voters didn't give Wiggins a single vote for the All-Defensive team, which is mind-boggling. But Wiggins clearly took that snub personally because he put on a defensive clinic in the playoffs. In the Western Conference Finals, Andrew Wiggins did a fantastic job defending Luka, who had just finished owning the Suns the previous round. Against the Suns, Luka averaged 32 points per game on 47% shooting, but against the Dubs, Luka still averaged 32 a game, but on just 41% shooting. And Luka's sharp decline in efficiency was largely thanks to Wiggins' incredible on-ball defense, forcing Luka into some tough shots. And in the NBA Finals, Wiggins' defense on Jason Tatum is perhaps the second biggest factor in the Warriors winning the series, behind Steph going off. Wiggins held Tatum to 21 points per game on just 36% shooting, forcing Tatum into tough shots and making him as uncomfortable as possible. Wiggins played phenomenal defense on two players that most fans would consider superstars in back-to-back series. He put the entire league on notice with the way he defended on the biggest stage, and going into next season, Wiggins should definitely be on the All-Defensive team. Now, as far as his goal of being an All-Star, I think that could prove to be a lot more difficult. Don't get me wrong, Andrew Wiggins earned his All-Star nod last year, but with the return of Kawhi Leonard, Paul George, and Zion Williamson, who all play the forward position, I would expect the competition for the All-Star roster to be even more competitive. Also, last season, Wiggins made the All-Star game largely because he was the Warriors' second leading scorer pre-All-Star break at 19 points per game, along with being a defensive stud. It should also be mentioned that Klay didn't play the first couple of months of the season, which meant more shots for Wiggins. We saw at the end of last season that when everyone was healthy, Wiggins' shot attempts per game went down. In fact, Wiggins averaged just 16 points per game in the playoffs, but he did have big games and critical moments. Going into next season, I do think it's possible Wiggins can make the second All-Star team of his career, but the Warriors will have to once again be one of the top seeds, and Wiggins will have to put up similar offensive production to what he did last year, if not better. But with Klay coming back into next season healthy and Jordan Poole set to play a big role again, I would honestly expect Wiggins' scoring to go down, which will lessen his chance of making the All-Star team. So that's my take. I think there's a strong chance that Wiggins is All-Defensive team next year, but I think that making the All-Star game will be a lot more difficult with the increased talent in the West and on his own team, but I wouldn't take it out of the realm of possibility. But now I want to hear from you guys. What do you think of Wiggins' goals for next year? Do you see him as an all-star and all-defensive guy? Tell me in the comments. If you enjoyed this video, drop a like on it and hit that subscribe button and click this video to see why Jonathan Kuminga is a future superstar for the Warriors.